My child, I want you to slow down for a moment. Not your body, but your thoughts. You have been thinking too much, carrying too many questions, replaying too many moments that cannot be changed. Your mind feels crowded, full of what ifs, why did this happen, and what will happen next. Even when you rest, your thoughts do not. I see how you try to control everything. You plan, you worry, you prepare for problems that haven't even arrived yet. You keep imagining future pain instead of trusting future peace. You think being strong means having everything figured out. But truth strength is admitting that you don't. You feel pressure from all sides, pressure to succeed, pressure to improve, pressure to prove your worth, pressure to become someone before time runs out. But tell me this, gently, who told you that you are running out of time? You rush your growth. You compare your beginning with someone else's middle. You judge your private struggles using other people's public success. And slowly, without noticing, you start believing that something is wrong with you. But nothing is wrong with you. You are evolving. You are in transition. You are in a season of becoming, not arriving. You want clarity, but clarity comes after trust. You want certainty, but certainty comes after surrender. You keep asking for signs, but I am asking for patience. There are things I am teaching you through discomfort, things I could never teach you through comfort. You are learning boundaries. You are learning self-respect. You are learning to listen to your intuition. You are learning to let go without guilt. These lessons are invisible, but they are powerful. You used to tolerate what you now walk away from. You used to stay silent, where you now speak up. You used to doubt yourself, where you now pause and reflect. That is growth. Even if your life looks the same from the outside, your inner world has changed completely. You don't react the same way anymore. You don't trust the same people anymore. You don't accept the same treatment anymore. And sometimes that makes you feel lonely, because the old version of you fit in more easily. But the new version of you needs deeper connections, not more connections. You are outgrowing spaces that once felt like home. You are questioning beliefs that once felt permanent. You are shedding layers that no longer represent who you are. That can feel confusing. It can feel empty. It can feel like you don't belong anywhere for a while. But in between who you were and who you are becoming, there is always a quiet phase. A phase where nothing makes sense yet. A phase where the old no longer fits and the new hasn't fully arrived. A phase where you feel lost, even though you are actually being redirected. This phase is not punishment. It is alignment. You are being repositioned for something better. You think you are stuck, but you are actually being refined. You think you are falling behind, but you are actually being protected from paths that would have drained you. You think nothing is happening, but deep inside you, everything is shifting. Your standards are changing. Your priorities are changing. Your definition of happiness is changing. You no longer want just attention. You want peace. You no longer want just success. You want meaning. You no longer want just love. You want safety. This is not weakness. This is maturity. You are learning that not every opportunity is a blessing. Not every connection is alignment. Not every door is meant to be opened. Some doors look beautiful, but lead to exhaustion. Some people feel exciting, but create chaos. Some choices feel right, but cost your inner stability. So I close what you beg for. I remove what you are attached to. I delay what you think you are ready for, not to hurt you, but to save you. You cannot see the full picture yet because you are standing inside it. You only see the confusion, I see the outcome. You only feel the discomfort. I see the transformation. You only experience the waiting. I see the preparation. There are parts of you that are healing quietly. Old fears losing their power. Old wounds closing slowly. Old patterns breaking one by one. You don't celebrate these changes because they are subtle, but they are the most important ones. You are becoming more self-aware, more emotionally intelligent, more selective with your energy, more respectful of your own limits. You are learning to pause before reacting, to observe before trusting, to protect your peace instead of explaining yourself. This version of you is stronger than the old one, even if it feels less confident sometimes. Because now you think before you choose. Now you reflect before you commit. Now you feel deeply instead of escaping feelings. You are not numb anymore. You are conscious. And consciousness can feel heavy before it feels freeing. There will be days when you miss your old self, the carefree one, the naive one, the one who didn't overthink everything. But that version of you existed for a reason and ended for a reason too. You cannot grow and stay the same. You cannot heal and remain unaware. You cannot become wiser without first becoming confused. So if today you feel uncertain about your direction, uncertain about your relationships, uncertain about your identity, uncertain about your future, that doesn't mean you are lost. It means you are between versions of yourself. And that space is sacred. It is where real transformation begins.
My child, there is something deeper happening inside you that you have not fully understood yet. You are learning how to live without constant validation. For years, you measured your worth through reactions, through messages, through applause, through attention, through being chosen, through being noticed. And when those things slowed down or disappeared, you started questioning your value. But your worth was never meant to be dependent on who claps for you. You are now entering a season where external noise becomes quieter, so your internal voice can become clearer. At first, that silence feels uncomfortable. You interpret it as rejection, as abandonment, as being overlooked. But in reality, it is space. Space for you to hear yourself again. You have spent so much time trying to become what others needed that you slowly forgot what you needed. You said yes when your spirit said no. You stayed quiet when your heart wanted to speak. You adjusted yourself to keep peace even when it disturbed your own. And now you feel a strange tension inside, a resistance to what once felt normal. That resistance is growth. You are no longer willing to shrink just to fit into rooms that were never designed for your expansion. You are realizing that comfort is not always alignment. Familiar is not always safe. And attention is not always love. You are learning the difference between being wanted and being valued. There were moments when you accepted less than you deserved because you feared losing what little you had. You held on to half effort, half truth, half commitment. But you are beginning to understand that partial love creates complete confusion, and confusion drails the soul. You are tired of feeling unsure about where you stand with people, tired of decoding mixed signals, tired of wondering if you matter. So I am teaching you to stand firm without explanation. You do not need to chase clarity from those who enjoy keeping you uncertain. You do not need to beg for consistency from those who thrive on unpredictability. You do not need to fight for space in places that barely tolerate your presence. If something is meant for you, it will not require you to abandon yourself. This lesson is not easy because part of you still longs for the old attachments. Even the unhealthy ones felt familiar. And familiarity can feel safer than change. But listen carefully. Comfort built on compromise is not stability. You are being asked to choose long-term peace over short-term reassurance. And that choice requires courage. Courage to walk away from what almost works. Courage to release what almost feels right. Courage to wait for what fully aligns. You are also learning patience in areas you thought you had mastered. You believe that if you worked hard enough, planned well enough, prayed consistently enough, everything would move according to your timeline. But life does not respond to pressure. It responds to readiness. There are things you desire deeply: opportunities, relationships, breakthroughs, recognition. And sometimes it feels like everyone else is receiving what you are still waiting for. Comparison creeps in quietly. You scroll, you observe, you calculate, you measure your progress against others who are walking entirely different paths. And without noticing, joy turns into doubt. But you are comparing chapters without knowing the full story. Some people are ahead publicly but struggling privately. Some look stable but are deeply unsettled. Some appear successful but feel empty inside. What you see is not always what is real, and what you are building is not always visible yet. Invisible progress is still progress. You are developing emotional depth, discernment, self-control, reflection. These qualities do not trend. They do not receive applause, but they shape your entire future.
You're also learning to sit with uncertainty without collapsing. There was a time when not knowing would have sent you into panic. Now, even though you feel anxious, you remain standing. Even though you feel unsure, you continue moving. That is strength. You do not give yourself credit for surviving internal battles no one else sees. You fight doubt silently. You challenge negative thoughts. You choose not to act on impulses that would sabotage your peace. Growth is happening in the quiet decisions you make every day. When you choose not to respond with anger, when you choose not to revisit what hurt you, when you choose not to return to what once broke you, these small choices are shaping your destiny. You're also becoming more comfortable being alone, not isolated, not disconnected, but independent. There is a difference. Isolation drains you. Independence strengthens you. You're discovering that your company is enough, that you can enjoy your own presence without constant distraction. This is preparation, because where you are going, you must know who you are without external influence. You must trust your intuition without needing constant approval. You must stand firm without needing reassurance every step of the way. There are higher levels of responsibility waiting for you, greater opportunities, deeper relationships, stronger influence, but elevation requires internal stability. If you rise without stability, success becomes overwhelming. So I build your foundation first. You sometimes interpret slow progress as stagnation, but slow foundations create strong structures. If I gave you everything now without the internal strength to manage it, it would crush you instead of bless you. So I am strengthening your character quietly. You are learning restraint, you are learning discipline, you are learning emotional regulation, you are learning delayed gratification. These lessons feel heavy because they require you to say no to immediate comfort, but temporary comfort often creates permanent regret. You are not meant for quick fixes, you are meant for lasting impact. That is why your path feels intentional, slow, precise. You may not understand it yet, but you are being prepared for something that requires depth, not speed. And as you continue walking through this season of adjustment, release the need to have every answer right now. You are not behind, you are not failing, you are not forgotten. You are being shaped carefully, and there is more unfolding inside you than you can see at this moment.
My child, as you have listened this far, something inside you has already begun to shift. Not because every problem disappeared, not because every question was answered, but because you remembered something you are close to forgetting. You are guided, even when you cannot see the path. There is a quiet confidence rising in you, a steadiness that was not there before. It is subtle, but it is real. You are starting to understand that not every battle requires your reaction. Not every opinion deserves your attention. Not every opportunity deserves your energy. Discernment is growing inside you. You used to say yes out of fear of missing out. Now you pause and ask, does this align with who I am becoming? You used to chase people who were unsure about you. Now you are learning to choose those who choose you without hesitation. You used to measure success by speed. Now you are beginning to value sustainability. This is maturity unfolding. You are no longer desperate for outcomes. You are becoming devoted to growth, and that changes everything. There will still be moments when doubt visits you, moments when old fears try to return, moments when impatience whispers that nothing is happening. But you are not the same person you were before. You now recognize those thoughts instead of obeying them. You are learning to observe your emotions without being controlled by them. You are discovering that peace is not the absence of problems, but the presence of trust. And trust is what you are building now. Trust that what left was not meant to stay. Trust that what is delayed is not denied. Trust that what is meant for you cannot miss you. You no longer need to force connections. You no longer need to convince anyone of your value. You no longer need to explain your boundaries. The right people will understand your silence. The right opportunities will respect your timing. The right path will not require you to betray yourself. There was a time when you feared being alone. Now you are realizing that solitude strengthened you. There was a time when you feared losing certain people. Now you see that their absence created space for clarity. There was a time when you feared uncertainty. Now you understand that uncertainty pushed you into growth. Everything that once felt like a setback was actually a setup. You are stepping into a version of yourself that is calmer, wiser, more grounded. Not perfect, not fearless, but anchored. You are beginning to see that your life is not random movement, it is intentional direction. Even your mistakes taught you discernment. Even your heartbreak taught you self-respect. Even your disappointments taught you independence. Nothing was wasted. Every season had purpose. And now, as you move forward, carry this understanding with you. You are not defined by what hurt you. You are not limited by what delayed you. You are not controlled by what once confused you. You are evolving beyond it. There is a new level of clarity entering your life, a sharper awareness of what feels right and what feels wrong. You will start noticing things you once ignored. You will start declining things you once accepted. You will start protecting peace you once sacrificed. And you will not feel guilty for it. Growth removes guilt from healthy decisions. The path ahead of you may not be fully visible yet, but it is stable. The opportunities coming toward you will not require you to shrink. The relationships entering your life will not require you to beg. The success unfolding will not require you to abandon your integrity. You are stepping into alignment, and alignment feels different from chaos. It feels steady instead of dramatic. It feels secure instead of intense. It feels calm instead of overwhelming. This is the direction you're moving toward. So when the next challenge appears, and it will, you will not panic the way you used to. You will breathe. You will assess. You will respond with wisdom instead of impulse. Because you are not the same. You have grown through reflection. You have matured through waiting. You have strengthened through silence. And now you walk forward with a deeper awareness of who you are. Let go of the fear that you are missing out. You are not missing out. You are being guided in. Let go of the fear that time is against you. Time is refining you. Let go of the fear that you are unseen. You are seen in ways that matter most. As you continue beyond this moment, carry peace with you. Not loud confidence, not forced positivity, just steady peace. Peace that does not depend on circumstances. Peace that remains when answers are still forming. Peace that stays even when outcomes are uncertain. You are entering a season where clarity replaces confusion, where stability replaces chaos, where purpose replaces pressure.